Hi everybody, my name is Nicole Zapletal, and for my final project I interviewed Rose Zapletal. She's the working owner of Rose's Catering, which is a really small catering company based out of Brookfield, Illinois. When I say small company, I mean it's a pretty small company. It consists of Rose, who's the working owner, and three other employees. But just because it's a small company doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have any credibility. Um, they've catered for as few as 20 people up to 600 people at one time. So they're pretty talented and they know what they're doing. Um, First, a little bit of background about Rose. Her bout with the culinary industry actually started when she was 8 years old. Her father had a butcher shop called Mayor's Meat Market, and she doesn't exactly fondly recall waking up at 4 a.m., even on school days, and going to help him. There she would help him like receive orders, stock the shelves, and help out with just like little butchering tasks so that she would kind of, get her feet wet and learn a little bit as she was there with him all the time. When she was old enough, about 15, she started waitressing, and she waitressed in some restaurants called Moldau, Bratislava, and Pelican. And at some points in time, she was, working at two restaurants at one time, waitressing a lunch shift at one, and then running over really quickly to get a dinner shift in at the other one. So it was pretty hectic at that time, but I mean, she learned a lot and was able to make some money to put herself through school and ultimately save some money for her next business venture, which was opening up her own restaurant called Chateau Rose, which was based in Cicero, Illinois. And she had that restaurant for 11 years. And in those 11 years, she was the, again, working owner. She was the head cook. Um, but then what she didn't like about the restaurant was that she didn't know how many people were going to come in on a daily basis. And because it was a changing neighborhood, she had a really hard time with that. So in 1998, she switched from Chateau Rose to Rose's Catering, and she's been the working owner of Rose's Catering ever since. So it's pretty clear that she's pretty greatly prepared for being a working owner. She's seen several sides of the industry, especially the customer service side, which is really, really important in the food service industry. So right now, she is basically her own human resources department as well as the working owner. So I asked her what she thinks is the best way to find new employees. And she said that they keep it pretty old fashioned, that she looks for employees by word of mouth and internal recruiting. So she asks her three employees if they know of anybody looking for a job around the holidays when she's looking for some temporary employment to help them out with when they get extra busy. And she says this works out pretty well because her employees know what quality she's looking for in employees. So they usually recommend somebody that works out pretty well. And then we talked about training the employees, and she said the only way to go is on the job training. You can't teach people how to work in a kitchen in a classroom setting. So she really likes to hire somebody and bring them in the kitchen right away and just have them learn as they're working because they can pick up little tidbits of information and just little things that quirks that the employees have picked up in the ways and just easier ways to do it, and it works out the best. She really likes being both the working owner and the human resources department because it really keeps her in touch with her employees. She has handpicked her employees and has trained them. So she has nobody to blame but herself when something doesn't work out. But she shapes her employees to the way she wants them to be, and it works out the best for her. We then talked about how she keeps her employees happy and how she gets them to stay with her for so long. And her answer to that was to give them a voice. Even though it's technically her company and the employees are just her employees, she likes to make them feel like it's their company too. For example, if one of her employees learns a new recipe and gets really excited about something that they learned how to make, so she has like a tasting, has them make it, and if they do like a costing kind of a thing, and if they can figure it out that it would work on their menu, they add it to their menu, and that is like a great thing for the company because they always have new things coming in. But the employee has a voice in the company, and they feel they feel that because they have a voice, they get more excited about what they're doing, and they are happier. Nobody wants to work in a place where they give the owner ideas and they just get shot down all the time. So when you feel like it's your company too, you're willing to work harder, and you're more excited about your job. I then asked her like what advice she would give to an aspiring food service manager and what makes a good food service manager. And she said it's all about being a team player. A leader isn't somebody who tells people what to do and just sits in an office all day. It's someone who rolls up their sleeves and is working right alongside their employees. And that's exactly what she does. She isn't sitting in an office just taking orders. I mean, she takes the orders and she does all the purchasing and the inventory, but she's in that kitchen all day with her employees too. So it's not like she just has people working for her. They all work together and they get everything done for the business. She likes to show them what to do, and then she works with them, and essentially she instills her great work ethic and her skill into her workers. I asked her why she bothers doing it all herself. Why doesn't she just hire somebody else to help her out, which would alleviate some stress on her? And she said that it's all about being in touch with the employees and the company. I mean, she because she handpicks her employees and trains them herself. They all become like a family. They're all really close, and if she gave that responsibility to somebody else, she wouldn't really be as in touch with her business as she is now, and that's why she does it all herself. I really learned a lot from talking with her because I always thought that a boss would be somebody sitting in a desk and just taking orders and telling others what to do. And I really got a new perspective on being a leader because it's somebody who's a team player and works with her employees or his employees. And I really like that, and that's definitely something I will keep in mind if I ever get into a management position. Thanks for listening.